Alright, good morning. We're going to go over documentation of time in the blue room and therapeutic crisis intervention supports for school. So in the main office we have this binder that has the log for the blue room, the quiet room, and we also have a binder that has students with individual behavior plans. So you can find those right here in the office. If a student requires the use of the blue room or a TCIS physical intervention, this has to be documented in the log every time. So I'll give you a look at what the log looks like. You fill in the date, the start time that you're here. At the end you'll put the end time, student's name, which can be just the first name, classroom teacher, the setting or activity, so that's where you are when things are taking place and kind of what triggered the event in the first place, or the antecedent, so the trigger and what the behavior looked like. You're going to want to describe that in observable terms, so not being unsafe, because that's kind of open to interpretation. You want to describe what it looks like, so hitting, kicking, any of those things. You're going to document the behavior during time in quiet room, so what that looks like. If TCI physical restraint is used, you're going to check that off, and if that is part of the student's plan, they must be checked by the nurse every time, so that's just a little reminder, and you check that off if they've done that. You're also going to record what their behavior looks like upon exit, so if they were able to process through the event with you, you write that down, and calmly walk back to the classroom with you, you write that down. You're going to put who initiated the time in the quiet room, who is there supervising, and who returned the student to class. So if there is, and if you need any help with that, there is this little cheat sheet in the front of the binder that says, you know, ideas of setting, antecedent, activity, behavior, etc. Obviously you don't have to use this list, but this is just some ideas of some of the choices. If you are doing a physical intervention, you're going to have to fill out this additional form. This is something I will share with you on Google Docs as well, but it just gets into a little more detail about the physical restraint needed. Again, if a child is in a physical restraint, they will probably already have one of these plans, an ICMP, which stands for Individualized Crisis Management Plan, that kind of goes through all of their needs and what each step taken is throughout their escalation of behavior. Only people who are trained in TCI should be delivering TCI restraints, but that's something else I'll get into. So it's important to fill out the forms completely. TCIS physical intervention must be done by trained staff. A list of trained staff is available in the main office. If TCIS physical intervention is used, you have to fill out that additional physical intervention documentation. And the student must be checked by the nurse. The parent must be notified. If this is the first time TCIS physical intervention is needed, with a student, that ICMP must be developed, and you contact your school psychologist, counselor, or social worker to do that. And then for people who are trained in the TCIS, I just want you to review Module 6, that's workbook page 75 of the manual, for a summary of definitions and guidelines, and I'll also send that out to you guys as well. So I think that, oh, one more thing. Sometimes after the child has de-escalated, something you can do to process the event with them is use one of these forms, which is also in the binder, and this just looks like, you know, helping them talk through what happened, why it happened, what they could do instead, and kind of practice that. So that's just something you don't have to do, but it's helpful, just a helpful framework for processing what happened. I think that's it. Thank you.